Hello. This is the meditation of gratitude. My name is Sue from Somakura Wellness Center. I would like you to start in a comfortable seated position. I say seated, but that doesn't preclude that you could lay on the ground. However, I want you to stay awake. And when you're seated with your spine upright, it just kind of dissolves all those lines of energy that are pulling us sometimes to distraction. So if you can, find your seat in a chair or on the ground, on your meditation pillow, or anywhere, really, with your spine erect. Soften your gaze, so your gaze kind of moves away from that outer world of seeing and labeling and goes inward. I'm going to start with a quote from Albert Einstein, who said, "There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle." You've probably heard it said over and over that the more you see something, the more you actually believe it to be true. And, the demand on our senses coming from multimedia, whether it's commercials or billboards or magazines, sometimes our favorite TV shows that are saying you don't have enough and you would be much happier if you had this. But what if you counterbalanced that deluge of information with your own practice of believing in the truth? And that truth being that you're incredibly fortunate and blessed. So this meditation helps build the muscles, if you will, of gratitude, of contentment, of benevolent qualities, those qualities that cause less stress in our life. But what we need to do is not easy, because it's going to demand our focus on a place in our mind that we choose, versus how dogmatically our consciousness goes to those other thoughts. Just add them up. Those critical thoughts and regretful thoughts. Those angry thoughts and critical thoughts and gossipy thoughts, and those vain thoughts, hurtful thoughts, arrogant thoughts. mean thoughts and those shallow and jealous thoughts. So we're going to have to fight through that curtain. And you might even get a little antsy. You might even be getting antsy right now. But that's what happens when you have to break through any addiction that you have. You have to go through the detox. So what we're going to do is pull that curtain aside that's holding us back from that river of gratitude. And what I'd like you to do is simple. It's just not easy, but it is very simple. It's a simple statement that's going to start with you just remembering the billions and trillions of reasons you have to be grateful, and just one by one list them off, but preface each one by saying to yourself, I am grateful for. And maybe you start locally. You're grateful for the house or apartment that you're in. You're grateful for the clothes on your back and the food that flows out of your pantry. The clean water that flows out of your tap every time you turn it on. That your fingers work. Keep remembering. Maybe it's your favorite pet. Or your favorite hike. Your favorite food. Maybe it's your mother or father. Remembering how they introduced you to many different concepts and how you learned and grew as a person from your interaction with them. Please, as soon as your mind gets distracted, come back. Come back to the task. Maybe you're grateful for all of the plants and animals that die in order to sustain you. Maybe you're grateful that you landed on this planet. knowing that any other planet you chose would not have been as wonderful as this amazing place. That you have eyes that saw that amazing sunset or sunrise. Grateful for your job. Or maybe grateful that you don't have a job currently that gives you an opportunity for introspection and reflection. Grateful for the last kiss that you had. Grateful for the first kiss you ever had. Just another minute. Stay on task. I know there's so many things to choose from. Keep the list going. When you think of the definition of yoga, is to yoke, is to become one with something else. And when our mind is always floating to other things that distract us from our center, where we realize that we do not need anything else. The absolute truth is we are enough. And I want to thank you for spending this time, because you really needed that, to remind you that you have enough and that you are enough. Thank you. Namaste.